Her husband looked her in the eyes and said, "You are a failure." He mocked her for being barren. "I am marrying another woman," he said. Little did he know what waited in front. In the quiet town of Enugu, where news traveled faster than light and whispers could destroy a life overnight, lived a woman named Amaka. Amaka was the kind of woman people prayed to be. Gentle, respectful, soft-spoken, the type that greeted elders properly, knelt when serving food, and never raised her voice, even when she had every right to. She married Chinedu at 28. At first, their love was the kind people admired, the kind that made neighbors smile and say, "This is a good home." But love in their world had a deadline, and that deadline was children. The first year passed, no child. The second year came, still nothing. By the third year, the whispers began. Maybe she did something in her past, check her family, these things don't just happen. She looks healthy, but you never know. Amaka heard them, every word, but she smiled through it. Every month she hoped. Every month she broke quietly in the bathroom where no one could see her tears. Chinedu changed slowly. At first it was concern. "Let's go to the hospital again," he would say. Then it became frustration. "How many tests will we keep doing?" Eventually it became blame. One evening after returning from work, Amaka met Chinedu sitting in the living room with his mother. That alone was enough to make her chest tighten. His mother, Mama Chinedu, never hid her dislike. "Welcome," Amaka greeted softly, kneeling. Mama Chinedu didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked her up and down like someone inspecting a faulty product. "How long will my son wait?" she finally asked. Amaka froze. "Mama, I asked you a question," the older woman snapped. "How long will he wait for a child?" Chinedu said nothing. That silence hurt more than any insult. The hospital results came a week later. Amaka was fine, perfectly healthy. The problem was Chinedu. Low sperm count. The doctor explained it gently, professionally. "It's treatable with patience and consistency." Chinedu stood up. "I don't believe this." He walked out. And from that day, everything changed. At home, he refused to talk about it. When Amaka tried to bring it up, he shut her down. "So now you want to blame me?" "But the doctors can lie." The truth was simple. His pride could not survive it. So he rewrote the story. Within months, the narrative changed. It was no longer "we are trying," it became "Amaka cannot give me a child." His mother spread it faster than wildfire. Neighbors began to look at her differently, some with pity, others with quiet judgment. Amaka endured it all, silently. Then one afternoon, Chinedu dropped the bomb. "I'm taking another wife." Amaka felt the ground disappear beneath her. "What did you say?" "I need a child," he replied coldly. "I can't waste my life." Her lips trembled. "But the test results—" "Enough," he shouted. "I am not the problem." And just like that, her marriage became a competition she never signed up for. The new wife arrived 3 months later. Her name was Adeaze. Young, loud, confident, everything Amaka was not. The wedding was small, but the message was loud. Amaka still lived in the house, still cooked, still cleaned, but now she was invisible. Adeaze wasted no time asserting dominance. She spoke over Amaka, mocked her quietly, sometimes not so quietly. One night during dinner, Adeaze laughed and said, "Some women are just unlucky. No matter how hard they try, their womb refuses to cooperate." Chinedu lowered his head and swallowed the pain with her food. Months passed, then a year, then 2. No child, not from Adeaze either. The tension in the house grew. Mama Chinedu became restless. What is happening? 2 wives and no child? Adiaze began to feel the same pressure Amaka once carried. Hospital visits resumed. Tests were done. And this time, the truth refused to hide. The doctor called them in. All of them. Chinedu sat stiffly. Adiaze looked anxious. Amaka sat quietly, as always. The doctor cleared his throat. We've conducted multiple tests. The results are consistent. He paused. Mr. Chinedu, the fertility issue is from you. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Adiaze turned slowly. You mean all this time? The doctor nodded. It's a severe case. Natural conception will be very difficult. Chinedu laughed nervously. This is nonsense. But this time, no one supported him, not even his mother. The same mother who once blamed Amaka now stared at his son with disappointment. You did this? She whispered. At home, everything shifted. Adiaze became bitter. You made me look like a fool, she screamed one night. You knew. I didn't know, he shouted back. But deep down, he did. He just refused to accept it. Within months, Adiaze left. No drama, no announcement. She simply packed her things and disappeared. The house became quiet again, but not peaceful. Chinedu tried to talk to Amaka for the first time in years. I think we should try again, he said awkwardly. Amaka looked at him. Really looked at him, and for the first time she saw a stranger. That night she made a decision, one that shocked everyone. She left. No shouting, no insults, no revenge. She simply packed her bags and walked away from everything she once called home. People talked. Of course they did. Where would she go? After all these years, she should endure. But Amaka was done enduring. She moved to Ibadan, started over. New job, new church, new life. It wasn't easy. There were nights she cried herself to sleep, moments she questioned everything. But slowly she began to heal. One Sunday, during a women's program, a guest speaker said something that changed her life. When God is silent, it doesn't mean he's absent, it means he is working. Amaka held on to those words like a lifeline. Months later, she met someone. His name was Conley, a widower, gentle, patient, kind. He didn't rush her, didn't pressure her. He simply showed up consistently. For the first time in years, Amaka felt seen. He knew her past, all of it, and still he chose her. They married quietly, no noise, no pressure, just peace. A year later, Amaka felt something strange, fatigue, nausea. She ignored it at first until Kunle insisted they go to the hospital. The doctor smiled as he looked at the results. Congratulations, he said. You are pregnant. Amaka froze. Tears filled her eyes. Are you sure? The doctor nodded, very sure. She cried, not out of pain, but relief, joy, vindication. Months later, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. News traveled all the way back to Enugu. When Chinedu heard, he refused to believe it. Impossible, he muttered, but it was true. Painfully true. The woman he mocked, the woman he blamed, the woman he replaced was now a mother. He sat alone in his house one evening, the silence louder than ever. And for the first time, he understood. You cannot mock God's timing, because when he decides to move, no one can stop it. And when he decides to lift someone, no human opinion can bring them down. Amaka didn't just become a mother. She became a testimony, a reminder that delay is not denial, and that sometimes the greatest miracles happen after the greatest heartbreak. God's timing is perfect. It cannot be rushed, replaced, or mocked. What is meant for you will come at the right time, in the right way, and no one will be able to take the glory away.